So excited, very excited, so excited that I'm stopping the music. There you go. Peter Erskine, welcome back. Repeat offender. I love it. So excited to have you on. We were talking about what a time warp existence currently is, and I don't remember if it was 3 or 4 years ago. And Steve will probably correct me and say it was six, dum dum. I really don't remember, but thanks for making time for this.
Well, it's good to be back, and thank you, and greetings, everyone. Um, I'm speaking to you from my garage studio here in Santa Monica. And where are you right now? Where is Drum Talk?
Drum Talk TV is based in Globe, Arizona, a little old west mining town 100 miles east of Phoenix up in the mountains.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Grew up in LA near where you are, as we were talking about, and made the great escape up to the mountains a few years ago, 9 years ago.
well, you're in a nice part of the world, but we like to think that way of where we are too.
Absolutely. Why don't you give everybody first a camera tour of your studio? Then we'll
Oh,
talk about what you have going on, and then you'll play a little bit for everybody if that's still okay.
okay. Well,
Great.
this will be a camera tour of me, but the various cameras that we've set up. This was all kind of born out of necessity during the lockdown. I wanted to go from the built-in camera on the lid of a laptop to something that would be more effective, more dynamic, look and sound better. So the studio, I've got a total of 8 inputs. Got this
Wow.
nice overhead.
Yeah.
Um, have this handy dandy snare uh, cam for the bass drum. I've got a camera down there. Here's just a nice front view, and then the eighth input here is connected to an iPad, which right now I have dialed into my website. This being the Infinity Drummers list during the lockdown. I was seeing the 10 greatest this or 10 most favorite that, and I thought, okay, well I'll join the fun, pitch in with my own 10 favorite. And as soon as I got to about number two, I said, well, the 10 won't be enough. So I'll make it 50. Uh, and then about three more drummers down the line, I realized that 50 wasn't going to cut it. So just like two kids playing that tag game of insulting one another, I went to infinity. And the Infinity list is now well over 500 drummers. I know that's
Wow.
short of Infinity, but uh,
What an
it's
amazing resource.
these aren't their most famous performances in many cases, but they're my favorite. Just things that shaped me,
Hmm.
and I wanted to share.
That's
Um,
great.
and even uh, about 4 years ago now, when I had a heart attack and wound up in the hospital. From my hospital bed, I had my iPhone, and I didn't miss that day's entry. That was kind of like uh, U.S. mail, neither rain nor sleet, um,
Right. Or
or,
snow.
a valve stent procedure will stop me from my appointed rounds, and
That's great.
but time has kind of slowed all that down. I had posted all this on Facebook, and then decided it might be more accessible. Not everyone in the world's on Facebook, uh, uh,
Yeah.
so I put it on my website, and basically these are links to YouTube posts of these performances, and I try to go through it and make sure that the links are current, um, the way YouTube is sometimes. Things can disappear, but it is a good resource, and I'm proud of that, and I was happy that that's what was on the screen. Um, You did mention playing, and I have a tune dialed up from a Bob Mintzer big band play along app. It's a 9 minute long tune, so I'll beg everyone's forgiveness if I stop uh,
Yeah,
at some
no
point.
worries. They can go get it and hear the rest.
Well, anyway, this will give you an idea of the setup here in the studio and the music,
Great.
one type of music I like to play.
Great. Check it out, folks. This is going to be wonderful. What a treat.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Sorry to
Thank you
stop
for that.
there, but
That was great. This is like a whole lesson in dynamics in that piece so far. That was just great.
well,
Where can people get that, Peter?
that's an app for Apple iOS devices, either iPhones
Okay.
or iPads. It's called the
Great.
Mincer Big Band Play
Ah,
Along, and it's part of a
nice.
series of apps that we came up with. A couple of them called Jazz Essentials, Volume 1 and 2. We have Afro-Cuban Essentials, Brazilian Play Along app,
Nice.
and Wayne Bergeron Big Band app. Uh, Ray Brinker is the drummer on that one. Ron Surfati is the drummer on the Afro-Cuban. So they especially during the lockdown, they provided a resource for people to have someone or something
Yeah.
to play with, and it kind of teaches, if nothing else, to kind of be in the moment and to be listening. Even though I've played along with that track, uh, hundreds of times by now, I still hear something new and different. Every time if I'm paying attention. So
Yeah.
uh,
That's
it,
great.
it, it's not it's a good way to show off the room, and I enjoy playing it.
That's awesome. What do you have going on that you would like people to know about?
Oh, well, okay. So the first part of our talk here is, uh, uh, as I understand it, we're we're connected on Facebook, and
Yep.
we're
Right now we're live
showing
on Facebook and YouTube and the membership
Facebook
site.
and YouTube,
Yeah.
and at some point this will cut to members only
Yeah.
transmission. So I just wanted to get that in and thank you for the opportunity
Sure.
to talk about the. Well, I did in anticipation of that question. I brought uh, a couple of albums. The newest one is this.
Vienna to
It's called
Hollywood.
Vienna to
Yeah.
Hollywood. It's jazz renderings of classic film music by Eric Wolfgang Korngold and Max Steiner. That's going
Nice.
back to the 40s. A little more recent vintage is this live in
Ah,
Italy
live in Italy.
uh,
I have a
trio
video
CD.
clip that I'll show too.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you. A
Sure.
book that I co-wrote with Dave Black, uh, one of the more important percussion authors, um, and this is called the Musician's Lifeline, and it was a follow-up to the Drummer's Lifeline.
Nice.
Um, in the Musician's Lifeline, I just came up with a series of 10 questions and sent them out to a couple hundred of my friends and people whose work I respected. And we got a tremendous response rate
How
and
fun.
just some incredible advice from people that have been doing this a long time. And last but not least, this is what the world needs, and another book with my picture on the
Yeah.
cover. But it's a good
Jazz
book. It's
drumming perspectives.
Jazz Drumming Perspectives. Rick Mattingly it was the editor, provided invaluable help
That's good. Where can
with all that.
everybody get all of these? Are they all available in one place on your site, on Amazon? Different.
Amazon.
Okay, great.
They're available on my site, petererskine.com.
Great.
And yeah, it started out as a tabletop operation quite a few years ago, and my wife and I still package the orders up ourselves and send them
Wow.
out. Um, so much of everything's gone online, including people reading books that
Yeah.
are on a Kindle device or an iPad, or
Yeah.
listening to stuff on their device. But
Absolutely.
we have LPs, CDs, and books if you're old fashioned.
Yep. I my wife and I collect old books. We have books going back to the 1800s, in fact.
Wow.
But when it comes to reading, I ear read. I listen to audiobooks because one, I love hearing the author. Most of the things I listen to, it's in the author's voice, and I love that. But I also can blow through them so much more quickly rather than sitting down to read something. But
Mm.
like I said, we collect books, so I do appreciate that tactile. In fact, I think I want a bottle of cologne called Old Bookstore because that's what our library smells like. And sometimes you find like old wartime postcards in a book or a recipe
Uh,
that someone hand wrote. Some really interesting stuff. It's a fun little hobby that
yep.
we have. But I have a question I've never asked you. And in fact, I've never asked anybody this question. And then after your answer, we'll show a clip from that. And then by then, it'll probably be about time to go into the membership site. And folks, if you want to join Peter and I in the membership site, the information's in the post. There's also the ticker there that I'll play for a bit. It's a fun way to get to know your favorite artists and do fan Q&A sessions. We'll put you on the screen with Peter if you have a question. And we've got, in fact, this wonderful special happening right now. And the technology is so easy to use. A drummer can do it. We made this so easy. A drummer can easily become a member. So just follow the breadcrumbs. We'd love to have you on board. So, Peter, here's my question. Jazz, America's soul art form. If you weren't sitting at a drum set, if you didn't have music to put on, how do you explain to somebody what jazz is without sitting down and doing a swing beat and explaining how that's different from a speed metal? But like, how do you describe jazz?
Um, I wish I had a book I just began reading yesterday. It's the autobiography of Billy Hart,
Oh,
the great drummer, and he puts swing into words better than uh, anyone. I'm not remembering. I don't want to misquote it the slightest bit, and the book's in the house. Uh, but Billy Hart maybe came up with one of the best descriptions, as did Wayne Shorter,
oh,
concerning jazz in general. For him, jazz meant "I dare you."
oh, wow.
You know, so jazz is music born of the blues that is quite vocal in nature, um, and it celebrates uh, improvisation. Um, I've always felt of it about it rhythmically that it makes you want to dance and move. Uh, but if nothing else, I seem to regard or think of jazz as a vocal music, really.
Mm,
And the general thought processes are always jazz is a rhythmic music, and of course it is. But um, all music has rhythm going. The, uh, the swing beat, which is a synthesis of rhythms that came from Africa by way of the Caribbean,
hmm,
through what we call the melting pot of New Orleans and such.
right.
Uh, has a very propulsive and dance-like kind of magical quality, but um, it's not ricky tiki tiki. It's legato. When you think of a jazz melody, it's not ta 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 ta.
Right.
It's legato. That was a wonderful Italian word, and even the swing beat. And I think of that in terms of it being notes that are connected in a legato manner.
Hmm.
So, I'm not going to be your Webster's dictionary, but jazz for me is a music of celebration. It celebrates uh, uh, freedom, creative freedom, uh, actual freedom, uh, and it's music born of Black Americans. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where it comes from, and I just feel very grateful every day that uh, I've had the chance to listen to so many wonderful jazz musicians in person and on recordings, and have learned a little bit of the language. There's still so much more to learn, but it's a music of endless discovery. I wouldn't say it's America's sole contribution, but it seems like most of our musical greatness uh, can all be traced back to jazz.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing your interpretation of that. And what I love about jazz is that there's so many different dialects within that genre, from
Mm.
big band to bebop to Dixieland to the stuff you did with Weather Report, just it's so rich and it's ours, it's American, which is awesome.
I mean, it's global.
Yeah.
The beauty of the music is that you can be anywhere. I was in Taipei, Taiwan, uh, less than 2 weeks ago, and played a jazz concert with the wonderful pianist Fred Hirsch and a tremendous bass player named Drew Gress. Uh, and they have a new record out. Joey Barron is the drummer on that, but I got to play this concert in Asia. Uh, and the audience over 2,000 strong. It's just
Yeah.
seemed to be hanging on every note, and
Wow.
so the universality of tone and and music and harmony and improvisation and notes, and uh, it felt it was life affirming. We all after the concert. It wasn't so much that we're all high fiving backstage. We were all just quite moved by this feeling of kind of a shared communion with so many others.
That's awesome. It truly is everywhere. There's a young lady that we have featured from time to time in South Korea, who's a jazz drummer whose name is Mayun Seo. And it's just a great example of how what a universal language jazz is. What I'd like to do is play a bit of The Honeymoon from Live in Italy. And then what we'll do, folks, is we'll go to the membership site where folks can ask questions of directly right there on the screen with Peter. But first, check this out. This is fun. Just absolutely beautiful. I hear my wife's voice bellowing in my head saying, "You need to practice more jazz." She's a huge jazz fan. She's not here. She'd say hi. She's in Las Vegas visiting kids and grandkids. Um, but yeah,
my
that
my wife says the same thing.
really just
Hold
beautiful,
on.
beautiful stuff. So what we'll do, folks, is we're going to go into the membership site. There's a link in this post. This will archive there. It'll also archive in the membership site. So if you're a member or you become a member after the fact, it's in our library after the fact. So you can always enjoy it. And we'll go and do that. I just got to press a few buttons. Thanks everybody who's watching live on YouTube and on Facebook. And I got to make sure I don't